over 16,000 games. But not just that, this is saying it can do PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and loads of other systems. We're going to put that to the test, but first let me just give you a quick overview of this. What I'm liking about the sound of this playzone SSD card is just that. It's SSD, which of course means solid state drive, so the information from this into the computer coming out to me to play the game will load a lot faster, which means instead of like a mechanical clunky drive that's got to take all the information from that, process it and throw it back out for us to play, this should do that a lot quicker. It's boasting a lot of games, it's boasting a lot of systems. Let's go and see exactly how well this does. With 3 different sort of front ends built in, it's going to be an interesting one for sure. Let's go plug it into the PC and go check it out, people. The hard drive is plugged into the PC. Now, firstly, these disk drives only work through Windows-based PCs, okay? So don't be plugging it into your Xbox or your PS5 or whatever and saying it don't work, because it's not designed for that. Equally, just so you know, my PC is a Windows-based PC, obviously. It runs on graphics. I've got an NVIDIA RTX 3060. I'm using a Ryzen 9 processor, and I've got 64 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so this is how this performs. The games perform through that setting. Now, as you can see here on the drive itself, you've got various folders and stuff. The install on this is pretty straightforward, but you do have to install some extra files. But because I've installed quite a few of these drives over time and with Steam and everything else, most of the files I required were already installed anyway. But all the instructions are all on here. The user manual, which is a PDF read file. So as you can see there, fairly straightforward, not too in depth because there's not too much to do. So anyway, let's get to it and let me show you what's what. First front end we're going to look at is emulation station. I'm going to show you the systems on each front end, and then at the end I will show you sort of a compilation of different games running through my system from all of the front ends and different emulators and stuff. So on this system we have SEGA Game Gear, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy the original, the Famicom Disk System, Game & Watch, PC Engine, Atari Lynx, MAME, probably one of my favourites, all the arcade games. A favourite section there where you can put your favourite games. A list of all the games available, which are 11,784 in this section alone. And the Atari Supervision, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Neo Geo Pocket, and the Neo Geo MVS. And then just show you hit a button on the controller and it brings up this menu here. As you can see, you can go down. Gives you a nice bit of brief information about each game, a bit of a graphic there as well, and a cover. So that's pretty nice. On to the next one. Now we have Play Night, and as you can see here, this is all sort of your AAA sort of titles, amongst others. There's all sorts on here. Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, Capcom Fighting Collection. There's all sorts, and these are PC-based games. Now remember, as I said right on the top of this bit, obviously these games will only play as well as obviously the spec of your PC, but I will be showing you various games from various systems right at the end of this video, okay? But as you can see here, this is just giving you a good idea of the level of games that are available on this thing, and I think for less than £100 you really can't go wrong with this. I mean, I've seen them priced anywhere sort of £70 through to £90, and quite often you'll see them on offer and stuff. I put a little link where I got this one from in the video description, so you can check it out there. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, there's just so many great games on here. The Silent 2 there, Silent Hill 2 Deluxe Edition, Slay the Spire, etc. So quite a lot on here to keep you very busy indeed. There's that one there, that looks interesting to me. Splintered Fate, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Witcher, Wild Hunt. So plenty on this system, people, plenty indeed. So plenty of games on that one. Let's go and check out the third and final front end. The final one we're looking at here is called Launchbox. Mouse controlled, this one. So as you can see here, down the left hand side are all the systems. You've got 3DO, computers, Microsoft Xbox, Xbox One, Nintendo 64, NES, GameCube, Switch, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii U, Sega Dreamcast, Genesis, Saturn, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Sony PSP, and this SNES system. So we're currently on the Microsoft Xbox system. I had issues with this, but I went into the folder and there was a video showing me how to do the fix, which was brilliant. It only took literally a minute. It was just in one of these settings here that I did. Anyway, as you can see here, plenty of games to choose from. Halo, that's just classic. I love Halo. I still do. And as you can see here, it's your typical real good, decent collection of games there for the Xbox on just this example here. So there really is plenty. Let's have a quick look at some of the other systems. The N64. Again, all the classics that we've become synonymous with the N64, of course, that we've all known to come and love. Yes, indeed. So I hope this is giving you some good ideas of just the sheer amount. I mean, look at this scroll bar here. Look, this is a sheer amount of N64 games. Look at them all. Look. I can't go too fast, give myself a headache. NES here. Obviously, when it comes to emulating NES and stuff like that, it's easy to do. Then we've got GameCube games, loads of GameCube games as well. Your Zeldas. Resident Evil 0 there, Codename Veronica, Skies of Arcadia. That was a decent RPG, wasn't it? One of my all-time favourites, Star Wars Rogue Leader. You know me and a bit of Star Wars. I do love me Star Wars. Beautiful Joe there, Capcom game. So as you can see, a real mix. Nintendo Switch there, mix of games, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii U, and obviously all these other systems, Dreamcast, etc. So plenty to keep us amused. So they are the three front ends. Now I'm going to show you some gameplay from various systems and then come back and I will summarise this at the very end.
Snake, where do you think you're going? You can't expect to proceed with the mission without...
That's it. All right. Good one. You got a turbo.
Jump button for a short jump. It won't be so easy.
Yeah!
You ain't gonna find sturdier horses than these in all of New Austin. If you say so. Easy on the spurs now. We don't need to draw undue attention.
Now let's summarise this playzone 1 terabyte SSD. The first thing, I'll hit you with the positives. For me, the positives are it's SSD. The file transfer is a lot quicker from an SSD, obviously, to a clunky, typical old style mechanical drive. So that is a positive, especially on the higher end titles. Now, talking of higher end titles, there's plenty on here. There's loads of emulators. It's all set up for you, ready to go. So it takes out all the hassle. If you're not that technically minded and you don't want to go on and spend hours setting up emulators, getting your ROMs, doing all that stuff, this does it all, okay? It's already done for you. It's set up. Now, the negatives. Only works on Windows-based PCs. And the higher end games, the AAA type titles, the more modern games, obviously will only run as well as the spec of your PC, all right? So that's worth noting. Equally, the only other negative with this I could find is where it's saying PS5 games and the like of it. To be honest, they're just more the PC versions of these games. Then it's not emulating a PS5 at all or anything like that. And to be honest, nor would I really expect it to. I mean, the Switch and things like that on there's a nice little touch. So yeah, it's all in all pretty good. Now, to be honest, the other positive with this is the price. I paid around £60–70 for this. I know you guys always ask, so I'll put a link in the comments and I'll put a link in the notes as well. You always ask, where'd you get them, OG? I always say shop around, but that's where I got my one, okay? So if you want to check it out, it's there. Like I say, the prices range from mid-60s up to 70, 80, sometimes £90. But the one I got is there, okay? But anyway, all in all, for the money, I think this is pretty good. Even if you just want it for the amount of ROMs you get in, the amount of emulators and stuff like that. Personally, I prefer emulating the older stuff anyway, but it's nice to touch on them AAA titles every now and then, especially if your PC can handle it. And it gets me playing some games that I maybe wouldn't play normally. So all in all, for the money, this isn't bad at all, people. SSD, I think it's the way to go. But as I say, SSD's great, but the bigger the SSD, the bigger the price. But all in all, for the price this is, comes with your cables and everything, you can't go wrong, people. I've been OGDuffy, and I think Playzone, yeah, you've done all right. I don't know if this is a new company or what, but it'd be one I will be keeping an eye on for sure. Anyway, Playzone, this beer is for you. Cheers. Now, what should I go and play?